Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Marcus here. I want to tell you why the problems we have here in America have been existing continuously, and today we are probably at the rock bottom of it. We can go lower, and if we don't grab the ball and pitch it our way, we will be going lower. You see, the people of the world, people of America, we don't know how to live in a way that would produce peace and prosperity and freedom and joy and the fulfillment of our dreams for all of us. We don't have any concept of what is required in order to be a benefit like that. We all say we want it, and we try various things. In fact, the Republicans' message to the Republicans is that they can do just that. And the Democrats' message to the Democrats is that they can do just that. And each of them know that they cannot reach across the board and satisfy the other, even though they say they will try. And saying that doesn't make it so, because it's not designed to do that at all, ladies and gentlemen. We live in a system that have come a long way. You see, we have actually, just for the sake of understanding what I'm talking about, I'm going to share an analogy with you about spirits. Let's say we got two spirits that's running across this earth. We got two spirits running across the United States of America. One is greed. One is altruism. There's one that is basically evil. How do you determine if it's evil? It doesn't work for the people. It works for some, but not the masses. And it causes pain. It causes suffering. It causes poverty, crime, and violence. At the same time, there are those that are living beautiful. And that's the way evil works. It says that some are more important than others, and those that have to suffer, they call that casualties of war. And they have conjured up rules and regulations since the beginning of time. Oh my God, back as soon as mankind was on the earth, somebody started trying to own. And the purpose of trying to own something at that time was just to have power over another, to say that I can and you can't, or you have to meet my requirements if you are to benefit, because I got this. I think back in those days they might have, well, I don't know how far back to go, but let's say kings and queens and pharaohs and Caesars, this is how they came together, being connected to the spiritual powers, the powers that created the earth. That's the lie that they told others, because others didn't know any better than to accept it and believe it. And they went around the world amassing resources, putting their names on stuff that they, my friends, no one made. Oil and gas and iron and steel and diamonds and food, seeds, trees. All of these things were given for the benefit of those who can use it. And that's humankind. But evil says, I want to own this. And so evil puts its name on it. Standard Oil, Zitco, Unico, Standard, again, and so on and so forth. And you need what? Money. To do what? To eat, to have clothes to wear, to have shelter. You need money for education. You need money for health care. You need money for transportation. You need money for everything. How you going to get that money? You got to work. What are you going to do? Well, based upon what you got your gifts are for, if you are blessed, if you know what they are, then you can easily find a job, because they really want you. And they'll pay you, depending on how important you are to their program. They'll pay you. And you get this money and you can eat pay your bills, stuff like this. And other people probably are not that important to the system, so they don't get as much money. And so they can't accomplish the same kinds of things that are essential to both of you. They can't do it. You can, but they can't. And so they start falling behind you. See, this is how the system of evil works. It is controlling and manipulating. But the spirit of love, my friends, works the total opposite. It knows that everything works in perfect harmony. When Donald Trump was impeached, the nation knows that Donald Trump was guilty in every way, form, and fashion. The fact that he didn't want anybody to speak and kept them from speaking is as guilty as you watching them do it. Now the rules have been set up, not anticipating that anyone would come up and flaunt themselves in front of the American people like that. That anybody with any decency would be ashamed to try some stuff like that. And yet, this man tried it. And the thing about it is, he's gotten away with it. There is no way that righteousness is to allow that to happen. Righteousness is supposed to stand up against evil. It is never supposed to step on righteousness. So whatever this guy did, the rules and regulations were set up for decent people. And when a person that comes up that's not decent, that just want to flaunt their way over decency, then decency must stand up and say, not today, brother, not today. You're not going to start some stuff like that. It is going nowhere. And mean it. And mean it. See, those who have been enlightened by the Spirit of God allows the Spirit of God to live in them. And it is their duty to point out all of the ugly things that's happening in society. What I'm calling ugly, the things that brings about the pain and suffering. The things that takes advantage of people, cause people to hate one another. That's what I'm talking about. Righteousness does not allow that stuff to occur. Now, evil, everything it does is going to try to it doesn't even have to try. Anything the evil does is going to come up with something like that, an outcome like that. It's going to cause some pain and suffering for somebody. It's all about winning and losers. Winners and losers. Winners and losers. And what is that called? Cheating. Well, anyway, this is what you're dealing with. Righteousness knows that evil is playing a game on you who are unaware. So righteousness points out evils that's pointed out so you can see it, but not leave it just there. Show you a path that brings you the kind of peace, the kind of joy of life, so you can reject. Now that's a spirit that has to be lived on. It's going to have to be walked just like all of the stuff that caused the pain and the suffering. It didn't just happen. Somebody was abusing people. Somebody was taking advantage of people and using others to do it. When you see protesters out, peaceful protesters out making a statement to the public, making a statement to one another, making a statement to the systems that they have said, I'm giving you okay to take the leadership and take us a certain place. But we want you to know right now you failed us, and we are pissed off because you're not doing anything about it. And then they send troops, police out there, tear gas you and spray and beat you, and oh man, what does it take? George Floyd's life, my friends, an indication that man's rule is detrimental to man because of all the evidence, the pain and suffering, and what we do in response to it is insufficient. So those who say they know God, who are supposed to be teaching the world the right way, you don't bend, you don't go home and say we lost that battle. No, we didn't lose that battle. I mean, the fight still goes on. We didn't lose a darn thing. We haven't given up. We haven't quit. It is wrong to live in such a way that it's pain and suffering to other people. It is wrong. I don't care what you say. Now, you say, well, yes, the way the system is set up is designed to do just that. But the whole purpose of getting new information is like we didn't stay with the stone wheels of yesterday. We progressed. Now, this old thing of competing, robbing, and lying, and crime, and since the beginning of time, don't you think it's time for that stuff to change? America, man, think about you. No, you don't know half of the stuff about you, and it's good you don't. But if you knew how wonderful America could be, just changing and respecting the truth. I'm not, now, let me, when I talk to you like this, I want to say this, then I'm going to let you go. When I'm talking about telling the truth and dealing with people straight up, I'm not talking about trying to get over. I'm not talking about trying to outsmart anyone. I am saying this, that all the materials on the earth that came here and we had nothing to do with belong to God. Everything that's on this earth, above this earth, in this earth, that we had nothing to do with belongs to God, a spirit that we cannot see. And that's the only power that owns it. I don't care how many contracts you get. I don't care how many deeds you get. I don't care how many rules and regulations and laws that you got set up to make it legal. It is morally wrong. Everything belongs to God. And what is it for? It is for the benefit of all that can use it. And now the system that you choose to use is fine as long as it benefits everybody. Don't be causing no pain for some. No, my friend, that's man. That ain't God. That ain't spirit. And that money stuff, it's a scam. You know it's a scam. It ain't nothing but a scam. And I'm telling you it's a scam. Why? Because that's used to manipulate you. Like you say, you can get all things with money. You can get everything without money. The resources belong to God, given to us. The skills, the ability to exercise it and identify it and bring it forth and create in an abundance in such a magnitude that it overflows from the reservoir of goods and services. All of those things that are essential for our survival and everything else that our hand touches. The materials come from God. The desire is within us. The skills and the abilities is us. And we contribute our portion. We contribute our portion. It might be teaching, it might be dancing, it might be building buildings, it might be flying planes, it might be making planes. It might be any number of these things, but we are doing it. We are giving ourselves to one another. We are giving ourselves to one another. And out of that, my friends, there's no reason to lie, no reason to cheat, no reason to steal, no reason to kill. Because, hey, the world will see it. And what will the world want? Just like they joined with us when George Floyd was murdered, they would join with us when we begin to show the example of what it means to live. And when we can do that, we don't worry about people like Trump. And we don't even worry about Trump now. He's brought us to this point. He has allowed us to see who we really are. We're as evil as evil as evil. We don't mean to be. It's just that that's what we have become. We were molded to this state of lunacy. Yeah, that's how we got here. We were cloned to be just this. But I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, you can change yourselves if you want to. And there's power to help you if you respect it. And it's about love. It's all about love. Now, what is love? We'll talk about that next time. I want to thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for giving me this your time. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.